Hey guys, welcome back to Forward Tarkin Gaming. I've got my wife here,
Hey!
and Nintendo just released a bunch of new information in a Pokemon Direct for Pokemon Sword and Shield. So they showed off that you can actually control the camera in the open areas between towns.
Which is way exciting because it kind of gives you more of an open world feel in the game. I am still disappointed that in the towns the camera is still fixed and it doesn't give you a complete open world in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's still kind of open world. It's just, I don't know why they have to take control of the camera away. It's probably for technical reasons, but you need to just do Unreal Engine or something, because like there's a lot that I feel like there's a lot of engines that could run on the Switch, and they're just not doing that. I think the Pokemon Company or Game Freak is taking too long to make bigger steps into it. But you can see Pokemon wandering around. They're not. It doesn't look like it's too dynamic. It looks like MMORPG enemies just wandering around. So nothing too interesting there. And they did announce some new Pokemon.
Which I'm really excited for, especially Wooloo. It's like a little sheep and it's so freaking cute with its braids and I guess they're piggy tails. But
Yeah, so they did announce Wooloo and also Gossifleur and its evolution, which is Eldegoss. So Gossifleur looks like a flower, and Eldegoss looks like, to me, it looks like if a dandelion, blossomed and had all of its ready to blow its seeds away. But I know you had something interesting to say.
I just feel like I do see the dandelion, and that was like my first impression too. But as I stared at it more, all I could see is a big old afro.
Yeah, I you can kind of see the afro, but it's kind of funny. Anyway, so my favorite Pokemon that they announced for in this Pokemon Direct was Dreadnought. He looks cool. It's like a Ankylosaurus turtle thing. It's pretty cool. He's got a big mouth, and yeah, probably one of my favorites. And then second favorite,
Corviknight. It's kind of like a armored crow with some red beady eyes. It looks pretty mean, but also a fun new Pokemon.
yeah, I'm interested to see if it evolves into anything, because I think that could actually be a really cool evolution for Corviknight. And then they announced the two legendary Pokemon that are going to be on the cover of the game, which is Zacian, which is the sword-wielding Pokemon, dog Pokemon, and then Zamazenta, which is the shield legendary Pokemon. So that's the sword and shield there. I like Zamazenta, not so much Zacian.
Yeah, I agree with that. Zacian has a sword in its mouth, and I feel like it's kind of awkward. But I know this is made by Japanese people, so for them it's cool. And I know they've had that kind of a design in a lot of their games and movies before. But I feel like they could have gotten a little bit more creative in the placing of the sword on that Pokemon.
Yeah, I like the Pokemon designs where it's like, it looks like, this could be an animal adaptation. Obviously it's very fictional and very anime, but I just don't see any way, shape, or form that some Pokemon is going to develop a sword that it grows and carries in its mouth for the rest of its life. Anyway, but yeah, they're, for the most part, the Pokemon that they did show off, I liked. So, and then they announced Dynamax.
Which is really an interesting mode. It's basically where they get the Pokemon really big, and I think you have 3 turns while you have the big Dynamax. I'm assuming that your opponents also only get 3 turns when they choose to use Dynamax, but it's kind of interesting. It threw me off when they showed it to us. I don't think I appreciated it as much as other people did.
Yeah, a lot of people online seemed pretty excited. I thought it looked very dumb. And just to be clear, what it is that the Pokemon in this Galar region where this game takes place, there's this phenomena that's, I guess, a big part of the story, or at least there's a professor researching it. And yeah, they can go like extremely large, like 20 times their size. They just take up like half a stadium when they go Dynamax. So yeah, when you use it, it's for 3 turns, and I'm assuming your opponents can do the same just 3 turns, because they did show that both Pokemon could do it, and it increases their strength and attack power and all that stuff. And then they also announced max raid battles, so it's a wild Pokemon that you use. So it's a 4-player mode where 4 people try to take on a wild Pokemon that's Dynamax the entire time, and only one of the 4 can Dynamax one of their Pokemon at some point, and that's just for the 3 turns. So it seems, I don't know, Dynamax honestly looks kind of dumb.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think I feel like I appreciate it as much. The max raid battles, I feel like would be way fun to do with friends, if you can find that many people to play with you. It looks like you can maybe buy it as a 2-pack, is what they announced, and which is really fun for people like us who, would like to play both versions, as well as other huge fans of Pokemon, and hopefully they offer it with a little bit of a discount on them.
Yeah, I would hope so if they're going to announce it as a 2-pack. But they didn't give any details really, except for that, it showed the packaging of Sword and Shield, like duo pack, I think they called it. So I don't know if they're actually going to give you 2 cartridges, or if it's like both games in one, which, either way, I can see people actually liking that. Like, it's a special edition, you get all the Pokemon. But yeah, it could be really good for some, hardcore fans, or, if it is 2 different cartridges, families, get 2 Pokemon games and you go off and do your thing. But they also announced the release date.
It looks like it's going to be November 15th of this year, so it's coming up really soon.
Yep, and so that's all the details, and, I think I'm somewhat more excited for this game now that you can control the camera, but holy crap, that Dynamax looks dumb. Anyway, that's our thoughts. Let us know what you think down in the comments.
And remember, all is as the Force wills it.